So Democrats, when it rains, we bring the sun. We bring our own weather. And folks, because of the work you've been doing day in and day out in communities across this state, in 24 days, change is coming to Tennessee and America. Our campaigns are fueled by you and your families. Our opponents, all of our opponents, they don't work for regular, everyday Tennesseans working hard. They work hard for the rich and the powerful. I want you to know something, though. We might be Democrats, but all of us are running to be elected officials for Tennessee and America. I might be the Democratic nominee, but I will be a United States Congressman. My opponent, Congressman Desjardins, you know him, but he doesn't know you. He has never met you. In over 7 years, Congressman Desjardins has not held a town hall with the people of Tennessee. Because the people of Michigan, they are terrified of you. They are terrified of the voters of Tennessee. Because they know when you all vote, when we vote, your tyranny is over. Their reign is over. We're taking back our country. We're taking back Tennessee. We're taking back America. But we have to go to the margins. We've got to find everyone and anyone without exception. Folks, every Democrat on God's green earth will vote for us, but it will not be enough. We have got to get people who have not participated in the electoral process and invite them in. Everyone's talking about bringing people to the polls, but I today want to talk particularly to you about bringing your Republican friends to us. The vast majority of Republicans love this country. They're patriots. Many have served in the armed forces. They're people of faith. They're people who put Tennessee and America first, and they're not idiots. Shane Reeves, Mike Sparks, Scott Desjardins, they think Republicans are idiots. They think simply because they have an R next to their name that they are deserving of their vote. I want you to tell them this. Chris Hale is the best choice for Republicans. Mariah Phillips is the best choice for Republicans. Chase Clemens is the best choice. Matt Berry, Brandon Thomas, and Mary Vaughn. On the 3rd of January, all of us will take a sacred oath, the highest oath that any public servant can take, that constitutional oath. Those 147 words that have etched in my mind and my heart. On the 3rd of January, our oaths are not to Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi. They're not to Donald Trump. They're not to the Republican Party. They're not to the Democratic Party. The sacred oath that we take before God and country is to the people of Tennessee, to America, to this nation. None of us are asking for keys to the kingdom. These seats do not belong to the Republicans. They do not belong to the Democrats. They do not belong to us. They belong to the citizens of the great state of Tennessee. We are not asking for keys. We're asking for a 2-year lease. You're not giving away the house forever. You're asking people to take one chance. And if they do not like us, they should kick us to the curb in 2022. We're Tennesseans. So let's be real. We know more Republicans than we know Democrats. They're all around us. To today, it's almost Sunday, it's almost the Lord's Day. I'm going to ask you right now to make a commitment, to raise your hand that today you will go home and you will try to have a conversation with a reasonable, patriotic Republican and convince them to vote for us. Thank you. Thank you. We need your help. We are surging throughout Tennessee. Our opponents are terrified. The reason that they're calling us radical left is because they know we're winning and they're scared. We are going to win this election. We are going to bring generation of the change to Tennessee and America. We are the party of Tennessee, the party of good jobs, living wages, hospitals, and health care. And you know what? We're the party that values the dignity of human life, who lives the gospel values of caring for the neighbor, of caring for the poor, of fighting for the God. We are the party that Republicans are looking for. Their candidates have lost their way. We are the champions for those people. Folks, I know, trust me, I know how hard it can be to be a Democrat in Tennessee. I'm running in districts where Donald Trump won by 63 points. This congressional district, Hillary Clinton won by 41, lost by 41. I know how tough it can be. But what you're seeing with your eyes isn't fooling you. What you're feeling in your bones is not a lie. Something major is happening here in Rutherford County and all across Tennessee. But the only way we get across the finish line is with you. This is our battle cry. This is our service. This is the 24 days where we can finally reclaim Tennessee and America's highest values. So there's 3 things very quickly I need to ask of you right now. Everyone here, will you raise your hand right now if you commit to putting 1 hour of work to help the Democratic candidates running for office here in Rutherford County to office? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I've got bad news for you. All of you raise your hand, and we have staff who's coming by right now because they need to confirm your commitment. We do not let confirmations go without fulfillment. Number 2, thousands of people have sustained our campaign. I have over a record 6,000 contributions from every county in my district. What this means a lot to me, from every state in this country. In the 2 territories. All 50 states. All 50 states have invested right here in Rutherford County, in our home, right here. Because they know we can win. But do you know that? Do you know that? Right now, altar call, the average contribution to my campaign is $32.11. I think you make Bernie Sanders proud. Right now, when you raise your hand and make a commitment today that you will donate to our campaign today, that you will pledge to donate to our campaign today. Thank you. 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 I feel like it's right. I have bad news for you. Our staff just saw that, and they're coming around. They're coming around. You ain't promised in my eyes. I said you would do it. And finally, I want to tell you very quickly about these sides and why they matter. The geeks, the data nerds from DC, they say sides don't matter. They are absolutely wrong. The consultant class is factually consistently wrong. Democrats, the biggest struggle we have in Tennessee is people do not know there are Democrats in Tennessee. I want to tell you about a man named Joseph, 43 years old, who lives in Murray County, goes to work at General Motors at that Springfield plant. And Joseph saw one of my Hale signs, man, a white hold up there, that tell you what happened. For the first time in 43 years of living, Joseph asked himself, who is my congressman? Who is my congressman? A pro-life, pro-family, pro-worker, pro-equality. Google Scott J. Charlotte. You know what Joseph told me? I will never vote for a man for the United States Congress who lays a hand on a woman. There is no room for the United States Congress. Joseph rationally compared me to my opponent. For the first time ever, he went beyond R and D and said, who is this man that stands before you? We are Democrats, but I am voting for Mariah Phillips. Not because she's a Democrat, because she's a teacher, because she's a patriot. She cares about you and your family. Chase Clemens might be a Democrat, but that's not why I'm voting for him. I'm voting for Chase Clemens because he stands up for health care when his opponent has used health care to screw over you and your families and to get rich as hell. That's why I'm voting for Chase Clemens. I'm voting for Matt. I am supporting Brandon. I am supporting Mary because they are lifelong Tennesseans who know that public service is a contract with the people. It is not a contract with the Republicans in Nashville. Folks, I want every yard in this community filled with Hale Yes signs, filled with Mariah Phillips signs, and Chase Clemens and Matt Berry and Mary Mont and Brandon Thomas. Raise your hand right now. Will you be a missionary to our cause? Will you say, Democrats, do not be afraid. We are stronger in numbers than we have ever been before. Will you take a sign? Will you sign and take a sign? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have signs. We're passing them out. November 3rd. We're Democrats. We've been thinking about that day for a long time. Since November 6th, 2016. Yeah. Let me tell you what's going to happen. The energy that you're feeling will be galvanized. You're seeing it. You're seeing what's happening. You're seeing something that you never thought would happen. And like a raisin in the sun, it will explode on the 3rd of November. That courthouse, downtown Murfreesboro, which for those who grew up here, with a sign of Murfreesboro, with a sign of the joys, the hopes, the complexities, and the difficulties of being a Tennessean, of being a Southerner. We wear our stars right there in that courthouse. This entire community, where I grew up in, where I learned what it meant to be an American, where I learned what it meant to participate in public life, where I learned what it meant to be Christian. We will gather, all of us, at that square, victorious. Victorious. That night, we will reclaim this state for ourselves and our posterity. You might not know it now, but what you feel in your heart is not tricking you. In 25 days, by the grace of Almighty God,